Hello students, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss Standard 8th Subject History Chapter 7 Non-Cooperation Movement Question Answers. I hope you all must have completed this chapter and you must be knowing about it. Today we are going to discuss its question answers. Let's start. First fill in the blanks are there. First fill in the blanks, Gandhiji began his career from the country of, so you all must be knowing that he started his career from South Africa. The farmers started the no tax movement in the district of Dash. Its answer is Kheda. As a protest to Jallianwala Bagh massacre, Rabindranath Tagore returned the title of Dash bestowed upon him by the British government. Which title was given to him? Sir title was given to him by the Britishers, and that he has given back to the British government. Uh, because he was also upset with the Jallianwala Bagh massacre tragedy. He was not satisfied with the Britishers, he was angry with them. Second question is answer the following questions in one sentence. Which restrictions were put up on the blacks in South Africa according to the Declaration of 1906? In 1906, the government made it mandatory for black individuals to carry an identity card and imposed restrictions on their freedom in South Africa. Means in South Africa, those who were considered black according to the Britishers, they had to carry their identity card along with them, and this way restrictions were put on their freedom in South Africa. Where did Gandhiji launch the first satyagraha in India? Gandhiji launched the first satyagraha in India in 1919 at Champaran in Bihar. Which officer gave orders of firing in the Jallianwala Bagh? As you all know, General Dyer gave orders of firing in the Jallianwala Bagh. Now let's start with the answer the following questions in 25 to 30 words. First question is explain the philosophy of Satyagraha. Gandhiji introduced a new way of protesting called Satyagraha. It was the way of protest. Satyagraha means the way of protest, which was invented by the Gandhiji. Satyagraha means standing firm for the truth. The main purpose of Satyagraha is to make someone who is treating you unfairly understand what is right and just. Satyagraha is the way to make someone realize that the way they are treating you unfairly, that is not right, that is not just, and it makes them realize that what is right and what is just. It also aims to change that person's way of thinking. With the help of the Satyagraha, Gandhiji wanted to change the person's way of thinking also. Satyagraha involves being patient and using truth to show an unjust person what is right. The idea is to transform their views and make them aware of truth and justice. Through the Satyagraha, Gandhiji wanted to transform the views, to change the views of the people, those who are treating others unfairly. A person following Satyagraha should never use violence and untruth means. These were the teachings of Mahatma Gandhiji. Why was the Swarajya Party established? You know that after the suspension of the non-cooperation movement, national leaders they wanted to do something. After stopping the non-cooperation movement, they wanted to move on the path of their freedom struggle. So for that, the members of Indian National Congress such as Chittaranjan Das, Motilal Nehru, they put up the idea of contesting elections, and they wanted to obstruct the work of the British government. They wanted to stop the work of the British government, or they wanted to create hurdles for the work of the British government in the legislative assembly, central and provincial legislative assembly. So in 1922, the Swarajya Party was established. Their main motive was to contest the elections and obstructing the work of the British government. Now let's see the explain the following statements with reasons. First question is Rowlatt Act was opposed by the people of India. Why this act was opposed by the people of India? During World War I, Indians helped the British expecting the better government afterward. Indians were not interested in fighting World War I, but they helped Britishers as India was the Britishers' colony, so they also got dragged in this. So they decided to help the British on the condition that that the British government will give them better government afterwards. They were Indians were upset with the prices and taxes which kept going on. To suppress this discontent and to suggest measures about it. So all this discontent which was spreaded among the Indians, to suppress that, to control that, a committee was appointed under Sir Sidney Rowlett. It is the name of the British officer. According to recommendations of this committee, a new law was passed, and that new law was nothing but the Rowlett Act. This act gave the right to the government to arrest anybody means Indians, without any warrant, or imprison anybody without any trial. If someone is accused with any guilty or crime, so there is a trial process, means all that person's guilt should be proved, that person's crime should be proved. But that process is only completely ignored, completely denied here under this act. Even that person cannot appeal to the higher court also. So this appeal was also rejected against the punishment given through this act. Indians were extremely upset about this. This act was not accepting the freedom of the Indians. Indians were extremely, that's why, upset with this act, and their protest started all over India because of this act. They called it the Black Act. Obviously, this act attacked on their freedom. Their basic freedom was also denied due to this act. That's why this act was considered as a Black Act, and they called it the Black Act because they felt it was unfair and oppressive. Why did Gandhiji suspended the non-cooperation movement? In February 1922, police shot at a peaceful protest in Chauri Chaura, Uttar Pradesh. Obviously, this peaceful protest was done by the Indians. In response, angry protesters burned down the police station, killing 22 policemen and one officer. Indians who lost their temper, those angry protesters, they burned down the police station, and in that case, 22 policemen were killed and one officer. Obviously, they were the Britishers. This made Gandhiji sad because Gandhiji was against of violence, and exactly violence happened here by the Indians. So he stopped the non-cooperation movement on February 12, 1922. Why did the Indians boycotted the Simon Commission? Boycotted means refuse to accept. They were not in favor of accepting the Simon Commission. So why they were not in favor of accepting the Simon Commission? Let's see that. The Indians boycotted the Simon Commission. The Montagu-Chelmsford Act of 1919 didn't make Indians happy with the changes it brought. Whatever changes were brought according to this act, Indians were not happy with that. So this dissatisfaction led to the British forming a commission under Sir John Simon. So that's why this dissatisfaction they wanted to subside of the Indians. That's why British government formed a commission, a group of people under Sir John Simon, but they didn't include any Indian members in it. They wanted to discuss about the what changes would be done, what changes would be given to the Indians in their administration system or the governance. They wanted to discuss about it. For that, they have formed the commission, and in that they have not included any of the Indians. That was the problem. Indians didn't accept that. Because of this exclusion, means Indians were not included in that commission, their exclusion was there. That's why the Congress decided to boycott the Simon Commission. Khilafat movement was started in India. Why Khilafat movement was started in India? As mentioned in your textbook, Muslims around the world considered the ruler of Turkey as their religious leader. During World War I, Turkey fought against the British. As you know, during the World War I, the world was divided into two groups. In that, in one group Turkey was there, and in the opposite group the British was there. To gain Britishers wanted to gain the support of Indian Muslims in the war. So the British promised that after the war the Khalifa's empire in Turkey would not be harmed, and Muslim Indians, they trusted the Britishers, so they supported the Britishers in the First World War. However, after the war ended, England did not keep its promise. This made Muslims very unhappy. They began a movement called the Khilafat movement to support the Khalifa. There, the Indian Muslims were disappointed by the Britishers after the First World War. That's why they started a movement called the Khilafat movement to support the Khalifa. Thank you, children. I hope you must have understood all these questions' answers. Thanks a lot.